Can I eat with you? The little girl asked. The millionaire's answer left the entire restaurant speechless. The soft clatter of silverware and quiet hum of conversation drifted through Jordan, the most exclusive restaurant in the city. Candlelight flickered against crystal glasses, and the air was heavy with the rich aromas of roasted lamb, truffle butter, and freshly baked bread. At a secluded corner table, Thomas Reed sat alone. In his early 30s, dressed in a perfectly tailored suit, Thomas looked every bit the man who had everything: wealth, power, influence. Yet tonight, as he scrolled absent-mindedly through a barrage of emails, surrounded by untouched gourmet dishes, he felt only emptiness. Beyond the restaurant's ornate iron gates, a young girl watched in silence. She couldn't have been more than 7. Her skin was dark, her tiny body wrapped in a tattered dress 2 sizes too big, and her bare feet smudged with city dust. Hunger gnawed at her, but she stayed in the shadows, hoping for scraps. Invisible to the world, a waiter carrying a tray of half-eaten food made his way toward the alley. The girl crept forward, only to be harshly waved off. "Get lost, street rat," the waiter barked, dismissing her like a stray animal. Tears stung her eyes, but hunger was stronger than pride. Through the open patio doors, she spotted a man sitting alone, with untouched plates of food: golden rolls, seared scallops, roasted chicken, and a delicate chocolate tart. Her stomach growled. "Just ask," she whispered to herself. "Just once." Summoning every ounce of courage, she crossed the courtyard barefoot. Conversations faltered, forks paused mid-air, and disapproving eyes turned toward her. "Where's security?" someone hissed. Before the head waiter could intercept her, the girl approached the table, her gaze locked on Thomas. "Sir," she asked, voice trembling, "can I eat with you?" The room stilled. Thomas looked up, startled. In the middle of crystal chandeliers and white linen, her presence seemed almost unreal, a small, fragile figure clutching her worn dress. "Sir," the waiter intervened coldly, "shall I remove her?" But Thomas's eyes didn't leave the girl's. In that moment, he saw not a beggar, but a reflection of his own past. A boy once cold, hungry, and overlooked. The memory struck him like a wave. "No," Thomas said, his voice louder than intended. Conversations halted. He stood and turned to the waiter. "Bring another plate. The best you have. And hurry." A collective gasp rippled through the restaurant. The girl's eyes widened. "Really?" "Yes." "What's your name, sweetheart?" Thomas asked gently. "Isla," she whispered. Thomas knelt to her level, his voice soft. "Come on, Isla. Sit with me." The diners murmured in shock. A millionaire dining with a street child? Disgraceful, someone muttered, but Thomas ignored them. He pulled out a chair and guided Isla into it. "Bring warm bread first," he told the staff. "She's freezing." As a basket of bread arrived, Isla's small hands trembled around it. Tears rolled down her face as she took a bite. "Slow down," Thomas smiled. "There's plenty." The waiter soon returned with a generous plate of roasted chicken, vegetables, and buttery mashed potatoes. Isla hesitated. "Aren't you going to eat?" Thomas shook his head. "Tonight's about you. Eat as much as you want." As Isla ate, Thomas watched her, memories of his own hungry nights resurfacing. For years, he had buried that boy in the shadows of his success. But here she was, reminding him of everything he thought he'd left behind. Isla spoke softly between bites. "My mama made bread like this before she went to heaven." A sharp pang struck Thomas's chest. And your dad? Isla's voice cracked. He left after Mama died. Said I was too much trouble. Said someone else would take care of me. But no one did. Thomas swallowed hard. He reached for her hand. You're not too much trouble, Isla. You're a child, and you deserve love, care, and safety. Around them, waiters paused. Some guests looked away in shame. A few wiped their eyes. Thomas turned toward the room. She's 7. 7 years old, and she's been alone on these streets while we sit here, wasting food. How many more children like her do we pass by, pretending not to see? No one answered. Turning back to Isla, he spoke softly. You won't have to beg again. I'm going to take care of you. Isla's eyes filled. You mean you're not sending me away? Never, Thomas said, his voice breaking. You're coming with me. We'll get you warm clothes, a place to sleep, and tomorrow, pancakes for breakfast. Tears fell freely as Isla threw her arms around his waist. I promise I'll be good, she sobbed. You already are, sweetheart, Thomas whispered, holding her tight. You don't have to prove anything. A few diners stood, no longer in protest, but in quiet reverence. One man left $100 bill on Thomas's table. Another scribbled a note for her future. That night, as Thomas drove through the quiet streets with Isla curled up beside him under a soft blanket, she looked up at him. Are you rich? She asked sleepily. Thomas smiled faintly. I thought I was. But tonight, I finally feel like I found something worth more than all the money in the world. Isla gave a tired but content smile. You're the nicest person I've ever met. Tears stung Thomas's eyes. And you, Isla, he said softly, are the bravest little girl I've ever known.